The Korean War is one that is often not talked about very often. And by that I mean it is talked about, but its importance is not discussed as much as it should be as its relation to the Cold War. I could not figure out how to get my stop motion show to go according to the recording exactly, so you will just kind of have to watch and maybe rewatch it if you want to. I'm going to continue through my script because this was the easiest way for me to do it. Now, in 1945 Korea, as World War II is just coming to an end, the Korean Peninsula is occupied by Japanese military forces. The UN, which of course is the United Nations and has just formed after World War II comes to an end, decided to split the peninsula at the 38th parallel and allow the Soviets to occupy the north while pushing out the Japanese, who were currently occupying them, as I mentioned. America would be responsible for the south until all Japanese troops were out. Once the Japanese occupation was handled, the Soviet/US troops began to leave the Korean peninsula, until the leader of the north, Kim Il-sung, decided to attack South Korea at its capital. With the help of the Soviet army, who was laying down artillery fire while North Korean troops marched and fought to capture the capital. After 3 days, they were successful. This was on June 25th, 1950 at Seoul. The leader of the South Korea is Syngman Rhee, who is the Republic of South Korea, who leads the Republic of South Korea. The leader of the North is Kim Il-sung, who I mentioned, who is a communist leader who runs the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. In the end, neither forces are able to overtake one or the other due to outside forces helping. As you can see in the recording, the U.S./South Korean troops enter North Korea and push all the way to China. This is when MacArthur was the general, and he was wanting to push further and possibly start a war with Korea. However, Truman, who was the president at the time, decided this was not a good idea and ordered no troops to press past the Yalu River, which is what China specifically stated would be their tipping point, and if the U.S. wanted to avoid an all-out war with China, they would not push past the Yalu River, which is essentially the border of North Korea and China. Now, the war ended in a stalemate as both sides were unable to push through to the other, as I said, with the outside forces threatening. Eventually, the